Hey everyone, you ever wonder what that one thing is that really separates a junior developer from a senior one? Well, today we are going to pull back the curtain on a huge piece of that puzzle, mastering the art of mocking. If you want to write tests that are fast, clean, and just professional, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. I want you to really let this quote sink in, because it's the whole reason we're here. It is a bold statement for sure, but I've seen it play out time and time again. When you truly get why and how to use mocks, it just shows a deeper level of thinking about your code. Honestly, it's a skill that gets you noticed. So what's our game plan? First, we're going to uncover that secret, the pain that makes mocking so critical in the first place. Then we'll bring in the hero of our story, mock objects. After that, we'll dive into the real mechanics, setup versus verify, and we'll wrap it all up with the best practices that'll have you thinking like a senior dev in no time.
All right, part one. Before we can appreciate the solution, we have to understand the problem. And it's a problem every single one of us has felt. The absolute pain of slow, clunky, traditional testing.
I mean, think about it. You've been there, right? You write what you think is a simple unit test, but it has to hit a real database, or it needs to call some third-party API out on the internet. And what happens? It takes forever to run. It fails randomly because the network is flaky. You can't even control what data comes back. It's a total headache. And this right here, this comparison, it just says it all. It's night and day. On one side, you've got your tests hitting real dependencies. They're slow as molasses, they're fragile. One network hiccup and everything breaks, and good luck controlling the test scenarios. But on the other side, with mocks, your tests are literally instant. They're rock solid stable, and you get total, absolute control. So if those real clunky dependencies are our problem, then mock objects are the elegant solution we've all been searching for. Let's break down what they actually are. At its core, mocking is a really simple idea. It's just creating fake stand-ins for your real dependencies. My favorite analogy, a mock object is like a stunt double for your database. It looks and acts exactly like the real thing for the camera, or in our case, for our code, but we're in complete control of its every move. This lets us test our code in a perfect, isolated little bubble. Now, to actually create these stunt doubles in the .NET ecosystem, there is one tool that stands above the rest, a library called mock, that's spelled M-O-Q. It's pretty much the industry standard, so the concepts we're talking about today are all built around how mock works. Okay, now we're getting to the heart of it. To really get good at this, you have to understand the two most fundamental commands in mock, setup and verify. This is where all the power comes from. Let's make this super clear. Setup, that's where you're the director. You're giving your mock object its script. You're saying, hey, when someone calls the getUser method with an ID of 5, I want you to return this specific user. It's all about defining how it should act. Now verify, that happens after the scene is over. You're checking the tapes. You're asking, did my code actually call this saveUser method? And this brings us to that key senior insight. Setup is about defining behavior, while verify is about checking an interaction. Okay, so you get the what, the why, and the how. Now it's time to level up. Let's talk about thinking like a senior developer. Because it's not just about using mocks, it's about using them wisely. This is what really separates the pros from the amateurs. So let's talk about the do's. First, and this is the big one, you only mock your dependencies, the external things your code talks to. You never, ever mock the actual class you're trying to test. Second, focus your test on the outcome. Did the method return the right thing? Did it change the object state correctly? That's what matters, not just ticking a box that some other method was called. And that leads right into number 3. Be careful with verify. Only use it when the action of calling a method is a critical side effect, like, say, sending an email or charging a credit card. And of course, here are the don'ts, the common traps to avoid. The biggest one, over-mocking. If you mock literally everything, your test is meaningless. It's completely disconnected from reality. This usually leads to the next mistake, testing implementation details. That just makes your tests super brittle. They'll break every time you refactor. Next, don't overuse verify on every single call. It just adds noise. And finally, a huge one, don't forget to test the unhappy paths. Use your mocks to throw exceptions and simulate failures. That's how you build truly robust code. So, if you're ever in a job interview, or you just need to explain this to a coworker, here it is. This is your one-line, solid gold answer, the ultimate takeaway. Mocking isolates dependencies. And why do we do that? To make our unit tests fast, reliable, and, this is the most important part, focused on the actual business logic, not all the plumbing around it. And that leaves us with one last question, something for you to think about. I want you to go look at your own tests, your current project, and ask yourself, honestly, what are these tests really testing? Are they testing the complex business logic that you spent so much time on? Or are they just testing your ability to connect to a database? Using mocks the right way, make sure it's always the first one. Thanks for tuning in.